How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to the Two Summoners podcast. My name's Corvy, and as always, week 12, I am joined by my, what shall we say today? Very handsome and muscular co-host, Papa Pike. How we doing, dude?
I was going to come out of the gate just instantly singing the song, like zero hesitation. I was just going to.
The song's dead.
The second you said what was it? Handsome and muscular. I was like, well, I can't sing the song now. Like, I can't not say something nice about that compliment. But thank you so much, Corvy. How are you, my beautiful mustachioed friend?
Oh, yeah, good. The mustache is back. So audio listeners love you to death. Just imagine me shaved, but with a mustache back. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just uni crunch time and watching watching the LCO players lose in PCS. Great.
Look, we actually do, regardless of not having anything planned, which is how we love to wing it, everyone, especially you audio listeners. We just love to wing these things half the time because it's more fun like that. We somehow, because we're both just well-known streamers, we're pretty well-versed in thinking on our feet pretty quickly, so just going to break the fourth wall. No, nothing planned. We're here just to have a good gab one more time. No interviews, because we're in the sort of off-season as well now, Corby. It's a big break in between. We spoke with Ash last week, which was definitely by far my favorite interview to date. So guys, if you haven't caught up on the podcast, don't forget to jump back a couple episodes. We've got some really good interviews there too. We are on Spotify as well, so if you aren't watching on YouTube or you're watching on Spotify, please go over to YouTube as well. Hit the subscribe button too. It's definitely going to help us out getting our numbers up. That's actually one thing I wanted to talk about, but we'll get to that later. But I'm doing good, Corvy. So now, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Look out, bad guys! It's Corvy and Pike. Corvy and Pike are on the case. There we go.
Oh no.
That's just how we're gonna do it.
Oh no. I mean, it's good, but man.
Should we come up with a better one?
Yeah, for sure.
How about, why don't you come up with the next one? And then I have to guess it.
I will.
So,
yeah, for
while
sure.
you're in Japan, listen to some... So guys, Corvy's going to Japan next week.
Oh yeah. I kind of just dropped it on Papa Pike because I'm just like, look, I don't think we can record a next week episode unless we do one earlier. And he's like, why? It's like, oh yeah, I'm leaving for Japan, by the way.
It's not like
I'm keen for it. 10
Nice.
days, starting off in Tokyo, going to Kyoto. I want to see Hiroshima as well.
Fuck yeah.
Eat some food, hang out, learn some language, come back, man. It should be good. It should be great.
Yeah, going with your partner?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. 10 days, man. This is like the first real trip I've done overseas. Have you done many trips like abroad?
Like to find like overseas, I guess. Like I've been to like Bali, I've been to Thailand, I've been to like...
They count for sure.
Yeah, I would count. Would you count New Zealand?
Yeah.
I've been to New Zealand. I've been to New Zealand a bunch of times. Like I've traveled all of Australia as well, if you count that as a trip. Like I've driven around the outside of Australia.
So what, you got the van?
No, we had a caravan, dude. It was lit.
Oh,
I was like 8 years old and we were just roaming around. The amount of times I probably should have been stabbed but wasn't, surprisingly high.
Oh, wow.
Australia's a dangerous place for all of you listeners out there. Just when they say there's dangerous animals in Australia, listen to that. It's pretty accurate. I almost get eaten by a crocodile.
Oh crap! What happened there? Tell that story.
So the story goes. A lot of the people in my stream know this story, and I love to whip this one out. So Carnarvon Gorge. So all of you out there, look up Carnarvon Gorge. You'll notice that it is filled with saltwater crocs. My dad decided, hey, I'm gonna take my two sons. So I'm one of those sons. I've got a brother. We're gonna go do this massive hike, and then at the end of the hike is you at the bottom of the gorge. So we hiked it, and my dad's like, oh, we're going to swim back. And so me and my brother, being the young, naive children that we were, with a deranged parent, didn't realize that there was crocs everywhere. So we were like, cool, let's just get started. It's just a gorge. We'll swim it. Started swimming. Didn't realize that it was a 5 to 6 kilometer swim on little blow-up air mattresses. Little blow-up, little beds.
5-kilometer swim as a child isn't necessarily very easy.
No, and we had packs on, like we were carrying backpacks and shit too, so it was pushing us into the water. And so about halfway through this swim, you might just call it, we went up onto the side, and me and my brother weren't feeling too easy. We still didn't know there was crocs at this point, because my dad was blatantly lying to me. So we've seen a big ass splash. We're talking real fucking big. And we're like, what the hell was that? Because didn't know swearing back then. My dad's like, oh, don't worry, it's probably just a baby croc. And we're like, oh, don't fuck with us now, mate. Baby croc, what the shit are you on about? He's just like, oh yeah, there's crocs everywhere. We're like, you cunt. Like, how could you do this to us? So we had to swim the rest of the way because we were at like a halfway point. There were boats and shit coming along being like, do you guys need a hand? Like, you guys dying? Do you want to die? And I'm just like, I don't, but it might happen. And yeah.
At what point, was there any point during that whole time where your dad was like, guys, fuck, I don't know. Did he take any responsibility, or was he just like, just fucking go for it? Should be right.
He basically said, if we get hit by a croc or grabbed by a croc, just swim as fast as you can. Those fuckers swim fast in the water.
I mean, pretty good advice is just don't get bit, just run away.
Hope for the best. But you know how crocodiles kill us though, right?
They like, what, spin you around and stuff?
It's called death roll.
Yeah.
So basically, for all of our viewers overseas, because I'm sure there are some, a death roll is when a crocodile will grab you by a limb or by the torso, pull you underwater, and then continuously spin so many times at such a rapid rate. It's almost like being in a washing machine, to the point where you either A, drown, B, have just suffocated, or C, this crocodile's fucking snapped you in half.
It's like a Pokemon move, honestly.
Death roll!
Yeah, exactly. They grab it. It's critical damage.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my fun childhood story of me traveling Australia.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Well, over the places you've been overseas, you said you went to Bali and Thailand and New Zealand, yeah?
Yeah.
I was thinking about going to Bali, and I feel like Bali is a very much like Australian goes Bali kind of holiday. Everyone does it. Is it good?
Look, it's funny. Bali is good, but it's not good. I know that sounds really contradictory.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so basically, Bali's good if you just want to go have like a week of just being completely drunk and doing like absolutely nothing. If you just want to go get drunk and just spend a week fucking munted, Bali's perfect. But like I went, and yes, I was munted for 90% of the time. Like I literally stepped off the airport with my duty-free bottle of rum and started drinking in the taxi. But like, well, look, it was pretty good. It's not bad. Taxi driver didn't care. Didn't know where I was going. It was fine. It was fine. But if you want
to the beaches though, I feel like that's it. I think it's like a beach vibe.
Great. They're actually not. It depends on where you go for the beach. There are some beaches that are awesome, like really good surfer beaches, nice photography beaches. The temples and stuff, awesome. Monkey Temple, highly recommend.
I like monkeys.
Oh, dude,
monkeys are funny.
Monkey Temple is lit. It's actually so good.
Don't people get bit and get rabies at monkey temples?
Fuck yeah, they do. But that's half the fun.
I don't want rabies.
That's half the fun, man. You're gonna be seeing.
Monkeys are menaces.
Mate, you'll see the snow monkeys in Japan.
Oh.
Are you gonna go to the deer? Are you going to the deer park?
Yeah, Nara.
I don't
yeah,
know.
we are.
Yeah,
we are.
If you bow to them, they give you food. But did you know there's also the older ones? If they see you carrying the food, they'll headbutt you because they want that food. They don't even bow for it anymore. The old ones have learned.
That's rude.
I know. They've learned, man. They've evolved. They're like, nah, if we just smack these bitches, they give us food so that we walk away.
They've evolved.
They're like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man. They're like, they live in the trees as well, and they just jump on you.
They just turn into Americans. They just harass the tourism. Give me the fucking food, man. I don't care. Yeah, so Japan, it should be interesting. I'm a little bit scared. It's my first time like abroad. A bit of money. All the bookings are done.
Mate.
Still don't know how that's going to work out.
Have you got your train pass?
You can't get a train pass.
Yes, you can.
Oh. I'll need to talk to the partner about that, because I was telling we need a train pass, and she's like, oh, we can't get one until we're there. And I'm like, yeah.
You can get like preliminary ones. So I think she's right that you need to get a specific pass when you're there, but you can book, I think, a lot of stuff. Because I've been looking at going to Japan soon too. Like, I want to go to Japan. The train pass is A, probably one of the more expensive things you'll be buying, and B, it's like critical if you want to go anywhere.
Yeah, true. Because I heard that the public transport overseas is better than bloody Melbourne, which is But hey, Melbourne's better than Sydney. And do you have like trains and stuff where you're from?
Mate, we basically have like carriages.
You just got electricity.
Yeah, we just got electricity. We're still running on whale oil, man.
Oh man, look, yeah. Well, I'm keen for Melbourne trams again. I might go to DreamHack. That's coming up. I got approved as a creator again, but I don't know if I'm going.
Well, see, like, I would apply for creator because obviously that's what we are. I'm just not going, so there's no real point. Like
Oh,
I
see now,
just can't afford it.
I apply anyway because I don't know if they write it down anywhere. But since DreamHack's come back on, I'll be down as creator for 2 out of the last 2 DreamHacks because I've just
True.
put my name down. So in the third one, if it gets bigger or whatever, or I fell off, I might still like get the free pass.
Yeah, true. Maybe I should do
So,
it then.
yeah, I'll still put your name down.
Yeah, just in case. Try and you got to make. It's all about the connections, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about who you know.
So I still may go to Melbourne. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's like going to be a big thing. So audio listeners, video listeners, watchers, whatever. If you're going, sweet, you may see all of us there. Well, all of us, maybe me. I'll probably put something on Twitter or something if I'm going, but it should be good. Now that Bliss and Chiefs are actually going to be playing. We actually have a grand. So.
Yeah. So I guess that's a really good segue into PCS and LCO and all that sort of stuff. We didn't do too good, eh?
Nah, we got kind of well as expected. I think you gave us 70-30, and I mean Bliss took a game, so
no, it was Chiefs, wasn't it?
Bliss took one game.
I swear, Chiefs are the only one. They were the ones that broke the thing.
Oh yeah, Chiefs broke it. I think Bliss also won one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Bliss got fucking rocked.
I think they did get rocked.
Okay, well then Chiefs won a game. Hey, we did it.
I think out of all the games played, we won one game.
Hell yeah.
Look, we'll take it. We broke the
I love
streak.
that for us.
Can we? I guess. Look, we've talked about it so many times, and it's hard to beat a dead horse about this topic. Eh? Like, we just need some funding so we can try and give players a better experience. Like at the end of the day, I think we have the talent. I think the players are good. I also just think they need more presence overseas. I think there should be off-season teams should be in Korea. They should be in Korea, playing at the highest fucking level. They should all be looking at getting Challenger and all that, because that's what like Schernfire did. He went to Korea for like 3 months back in the day, got Challenger a bunch of times, and all the Koreans were like, we fucking hate Schernfire because he's just come in and shitting on us.
Yeah, but the thing is you can say that, but I don't want to really kind of like diss Schernfire, but I don't think he's had a miracle split. So you can go and be good, but like once you come back, you may just slide back into bad habits. The infrastructure needs to, like when we were talking to Coach Arch yesterday, and if you haven't listened to it, I really do implore you listen to episode 11. He was talking pretty good about like we need to not only verse more international teams, we need to watch them closer, because there's no way that we shouldn't have a grip on the meta when we go overseas. Because they were talking about that, like there's picks that shouldn't be really getting picked. Our orders are fucked. The drafts were pretty bad, and he's like, look, we're blind picking 2 of our solo lanes or when we just don't need to.
Yeah,
he's just like it. He put on a really good point. I feel like we just need to grow almost in the coaching and infrastructure spot first. I think our players are pretty good.
Oh, there. Well, that's what I meant. I guess I meant more from the standpoint of we should be going over as teams and scrimming other teams in other bigger regions. Like, imagine if Bliss went over for 2 months and said to all the Korean teams, hey, we would just love to scrim you guys. We're happy to lose every game. We just want to scrim and see how you guys are doing it. Like, that's what it should be. Like, I feel like, and I think I'm going to touch on your point, which you just said, which was the coaches, right? It's the coaching staff, the infrastructure that needs to change. Why aren't they going over and boot camping how to fucking coach?
Yeah, but you don't need to boot camp a coaching like thing. You can just, especially because coaching in Australia is you have to do the analyst job and you have to do the coaching job and the draft job and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can't just spend a little bit of time in a call with the players or whatever and see what they're doing, what they're picking. You should be watching pro games as a team, I would say.
Yeah, like
I watch Korean games, be like, dude, we can do that. That's a pretty good comp.
Like, I think that's what PGG tried to do by the looks of it. They tried to come in being like, oh, we're a PCS team. We're going to play this particular style, but that was the only style they played. We got that confirmation, right, from Val, the Direwolves coach. He said, like, the team, they stuck to one thing and that's all they played. And yes, it was working, but the second you change it up on them, they're like, what's going on? Like, how do we respond? So I think, it's such a hard nut to crack. I think there's just too many. I'm going to put it in Japanese terms for you, right? I'm going to hit you with something Japanese knowledge. Right now, LCO and the Australian region, so Oceania, is a bowl. Imagine us a bowl. And we've got a bunch of cracks in our bowl.
Okay.
A lot of cracks.
Crack bowl.
We need to do the Japanese art of putting gold into the bowl and filling up the cracks to improve it. So apparently, yeah, so
Ah,
the bowl itself would actually be improved, and all you audio listeners, I'm doing quotation marks with my fingers. It improves the bowl and makes it more beautiful because the gold has filled it up. So we need to start getting a little bit of gold, putting it into our cracks, and then just hoping we don't shit it out.
so get gold players into the teams. I get it.
Yeah, man, they need to hire me.
How did she go in promos?
I lost.
Oh, great. Have you
No,
got back?
no, I haven't.
Oh man,
It's just been win loss win loss win loss, and that's just how
Oh,
it's
that's
sort of been
classic.
going. I'm
Lucky.
not too phased by it though.
As if you're not phased.
Why wouldn't I? I'm actually not phased.
Oh, I fucking hate losing promos. That's the one thing that sets me off.
Well, just like at the end of the day, like I literally said after it happened, I was just like, hey, I just came off 2 losses for promos. I'll make those 2 losses up tomorrow. And everyone in my chat was like, you're fucking weird. I was like, yeah, it doesn't phase me, man.
No, just start dancing around the room. See your Twitch chat, just start laughing at you. It'll be hilarious.
Well,
What the fuck? My prowess!
mate, I've lost enough promos to know.
Oh yeah, like back in the day, we had promos to go up divisions instead of just whole
Yep, I get it. Yep, but no, so I'm not too phased by that. But I think next split, I'm hoping to see. Well, it doesn't help. Okay, did you hear the news? And we're gonna divert again. Did you see the news over in NA that what's the
TSM and CLG?
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, CLG is like literally selling their spot, filing for bankruptcy, letting off everyone else. NRG, which is like a big CS:GO thing, I think.
Yeah.
NRG, they're thinking about buying the slot, and TSM are thinking about leaving LCS.
Yeah.
Not filing for bankruptcy or anything, just leaving. And I'm like, whoa.
Like, where would they go? They might just be better off going to another region.
I think they were talking. Well, TSM, you mean?
Yeah.
TSM were talking about focusing on Valorant and CSGO, which is probably something that is really smart because look, CSGO, with CSGO 2 around the corner and CSGO's esports just automatically being almost globally the leading esport at this moment.
Yeah.
League of Legends seems to be falling off. We were talking about this, I think it was with, maybe it was Mammoth Co. It was in one of our interviews. Someone can correct me and find out which one it was. We're talking about how the esports teams make money, and the answer is they apparently just don't.
Yeah,
because
it's literally just dead weight.
Yeah, we had Order come in with like what $3 million, $5 million.
Yep.
1 year gone.
Yeah,
it's like unlucky. How did they get that much money as well? By the way, do you remember?
Dude, I don't actually remember.
Was it just donations?
I'm gonna put it down to maybe drug smuggling.
There's no shot.
You can't get that much money. But you can't get that much money and then burn it on a team.
It was everything. They got the house, they got the tournaments, they got like many different teams. They paid their creators like on salary. It was everything.
Look, if you're doing that, you're not gonna last more. Like, did their financial officer not look at that and say, guys, we need some income, like we need flow there, because you can't, it's a business at the end of the day, it's a business. How do you profit in esports as just being a team? You can't. So that's why Bliss and Chiefs are probably the best example. They've got the merchandise, but how do you push merchandise? It's about having creators to help push that merchandise and all that sort of shit, and that's where they probably need to be looking more, because Bliss is doing an awesome job of that. Like, they're blasting that shit, and Caffeinated Cutie's trying to get me to buy fucking one for her, and I'm just like, I'm poor.
Yeah, but I think it's Bliss have this weird like niche like color and logo and stuff as well, where it's very women friendly and anyone else can wear it as well. So it's like I mean, for examples like boyfriends, girlfriends, family members and stuff like that, they'll all probably buy it because, I mean, it's just an easy wearable color. Where if you go like people might not like the Mammoth jerseys because it's got a big like weird what's it called? Mammoth on it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but like Bliss is just a flower. I mean, it's pretty easy logo wise.
Yeah. Nah, and it's very universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like even GZ, it's got like that sort of toxic-y sort of look to it. You're very sort of limited.
I really want to like put more praise on Bliss, not only for like their rookie split, but also just building their if they've integrated themselves very well with the LCO and only a split.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I feel like they've been here since the beginning.
Yeah. I I like teams that come in and not only play well but prove that they're just entertainment, because I feel like that is what our region needs to be.
Yeah,
And
we've
this
talked
is
about this.
we've talked about this is we need to be an entertainment based region. We're not about winning. We're about getting people just excited for the local events, because we're an island at the end of the day. We're not really going anywhere too quickly in regards to pro scene. Um
Yeah, we domestically, we really need to like pump.
yeah.
We need to pump domestically because
Yeah.
if we keep losing our faith, we go overseas, we lose, we come back, and then we just have a normal split. Nah, we need to
Yeah.
pump domestically and make our region as big as it possible. The LCO's done a really good job. It's
Yeah.
probably I think at this stage bigger than OPL was.
Yeah, I'd say
So
so. So I guess
it sucks. It
it
sucks we lost our path to Worlds, to be honest, because I feel like we're
yeah.
going to be heavily gate kept at this point, seeing how our performance was in PCS.
Yeah.
Gives us a chance to build ourselves up a bit, I suppose.
I guess next split we do get more slots, which should be
Mm.
quite handy. Like I don't I'll touch on this in a little bit, but I think we really need to focus on what our objectives are as a region. I think
Mm.
Worlds shouldn't be on our radar this year. I think making a stronger community in OS is the plan. Um, because the hardest thing for us though as well is we don't have the player base too. We have good players, but we need a bigger player base. And like you said before, League of Legends is kind of on the downfall. Like, I guess not even maybe globally. Would you say it's?
I don't know if it's on the downfall, but it was something where it just now needs to like percentage share its audience with other games.
Mm,
And unfortunately, Dota, League of Legends, and other kind of games are confusing to look at if you don't play it. But
yeah,
if you go watch CS:GO, man plant bomb, man shoot gun,
yeah,
it's pretty open and straightforward. There's not 1,000
yeah,
different champions with abilities to learn. So the share is starting to spread
yeah.
out a bit.
Spread.
Where it
Mm,
was very much, what was that original game? StarCraft.
yeah,
So it was very much StarCraft, and then it was very much League of Legends.
yeah,
And I think the normalization of esports will make everyone just watch Valorant and CS:GO.
yeah. No, I agree. Um, yeah. So my point that I was gonna make, and I hope
Fuck,
I haven't just forgotten.
we go on too many tangents, man.
What do you mean we're going to? All the tangents have been meshing together so fine.
Yeah, true.
Like there's somehow some sort of good segue that gets us there.
Yeah, facts.
I remember. I'm on it. Don't
Oh,
worry,
here we
don't
go.
worry, audio listeners. Papa Pike remembers. Papa, Daddy's looking after you. Um,
Daddy.
Daddy. Oh. So what is your thoughts? So you watched a bit of the PCS, right? You watched a bit of
Yeah.
PCS. I was watching a bit of it. Sort of everyone in OS was taking a gander. Um, as someone who was trying to get into cast for the PCS,
Mm.
what did you think of the PCS? I think all round entertainment value maybe we'll look at. I think gameplay we sure saw teams destroying, teams playing well, clearly world performances out of a lot of those teams.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna look more at the production value of it all, purely because
broadcast, okay.
we're both in that sort of scene where we're both casters, we're both hosts, entertainers, all that sort of stuff. Sort of the backlash that the PCS casters got
Mm.
because of the way it was sort of presented. Did you think it was fair or unfair on OS to sort of maybe hit them so hard?
I think maybe a bit of both because
Yeah.
I think the is it Arcane Studios, whatever it is. That's the Arcane Studios. They picked up the PCS. It was originally with someone else, but
Mm,
apparently they didn't get rights to it, or they dropped last minute, or didn't want to pay them, or something.
yeah.
So Arcane Studios picked it up, which is Shock and Emelg. They are the content creators for that studio.
Mm,
So they were kind of just thrown into it. So
mm,
I think Shock himself was amazing on broadcast. He's got a
mm,
very clear voice. Honestly, if I was looking to do color like in between, yeah, I would like to mimic exactly that. He was very, very good. I
mm.
think a lot of the backlash came onto to Emelg for some reason.
I think from from my point of view, as someone, just from my point of view, people know who I am anyway, it doesn't matter. They just felt like there was no excitement. It
Mm.
felt like there was two color casters. In truth, I didn't feel, and I'll give them this though. It improved. It actually got better. They took the feedback early and tried to really step it up and show that they can do it. But I think for the first couple weeks, even, it kind of just sounded like he was a little bit bored. Because we know that Ose has a history of not playing well. When he was getting the most backlash, it was because he was just like, well, we don't expect these teams to do well. Let's just go and root for the other team, is I think what it felt like.
Oh, okay.
So it was sort of like this backlash of like, he wasn't making it entertaining, and the fact that it was incredibly biased.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially coming from like an amateur cast. That's why I put in the context of them kind of getting thrown into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they aren't necessarily like, I know ML did LCO finals, but they aren't necessarily like casters in their, I think Shock is, but they aren't casters in their own right. So ML came in and he basically just learnt it on the spot, I think. And that's what, when you said it got better, ML did tap out a couple times and they had someone else come in. But yeah, I did see the energy. I didn't see as much the bias, but I don't know if I wasn't just paying attention that much because I was just blown away by Shock, honestly.
Yeah, I think it was more of a case of like every time I was watching the Ocean, like the LCO teams playing, it was just not even for the fact that it was like 10 minutes into the game and they were down by like 5,000 gold. It was straight at the back being like, this draft's better. LCO's fucked up. Like that was just like all it was straight from the get-go. They're like, LCO's not expected to do well at all. And that was the backlash that they got the most of. I was sort of like,
I get
like,
that.
fair enough. Like you're allowed to have your opinion. But I think if it was me, for instance, if it was me, you need to maintain some sort of level of, for basic terms, fence sitting. You got to sit on that fence until the game is starting to swing that way. And that's when, like, when we've casted, I'll always be like, how can this team come back? Or how does this team finish this off? What is like their next step? And that's when you sort of start to split the story, right? It's the storytelling of the game.
Yeah.
So I felt like there wasn't much storytelling. The story was from the get-go, LCO's not doing well.
Yeah, we're just the worst team, so we're expected to lose.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of what a lot of people got upset about. And again, I got a little upset, and I was sort of just like, come on, boys, like, just give us something, give us a little bit of love. And then they did. I was like, cool, I've got no problems now. Like, I'm happy with that. Like, I just wanted to feel a bit of love. Got the love.
Yeah, I did feel like it was a little bit boring to a point where it almost felt like a co-stream. It wasn't, it was its own broadcast.
Yeah.
They felt like, oh, we're just streaming it as the English version of the actual thing.
Yeah.
So I would like to see it implored or like explored differently as its own like content and stuff. Because in between games, not much, a little bit of chatting and then chuck to commercial. But if they had a bigger team, maybe that could happen. So maybe just get on extra people, like have a little bit of a bench, have a little bit of a chat. But having the two of them only, it seemed a little rough.
It felt like it was us on this podcast, and
yeah,
like,
exactly.
we're gonna go play a game. Like it was just us having a chinwag, and then we'll go watch a game and cast it, sort of thing. It's like, at least with LCO, is they have the two people that are there in between games. We got one as an analyst, we got one as a host.
Exactly.
That gives LCO a bit more content behind it. So I think, yeah, PCS has a little bit.
It rounds out the broadcast too, because like we can chat and then we say, all right, we'll throw it over to the people at here. They can talk about it, and then you get like 3 new people's opinions on the game and what they think. It adds more to it. So I can see what you're saying. I really would like to see more people on to like flesh it out.
Yeah.
But for a duo cast,
and at the same time, like, I'm not even saying me necessarily. Like, I'd love to do it, 100%. I'd love to do it. But even if it was
fucking get us
people, mate, we'll be laughing all the way.
Get on the piss, cast some PCS.
Hey, PCS. I'd be freaking out.
It'd be a good time. Like, yeah, I think that all broadcasts suffer more if there's less people, because there's only so much you can say, especially if you're new to it as well. Because it'd be the same as us. If we had to carry a full front to back broadcast with a bunch of teams we didn't know, there's only so many things you can chat before you just start saying, well, this team's kind of behind, it's over.
Yeah. So I think,
and I would expect more because PCS is the ending of the LCO split. So
yeah, no, that's what I sort of mean. I think because we know, even Arsh was saying that they sort of threw us into this this format for the LCO,
Very
this split,
rushed.
so quickly. It was
Mm.
probably hard for these guys. You said it was Arcane Studios?
I think it's Arcane Studios. Yeah, they also do like the LCO recap thing. They have their own YouTube channel and they do
Yeah,
that.
okay. So it's like, imagine them being told, hey, you're now going to be casting to an even bigger audience again. So you're going to have multiple different regions watching you. Go have fun. And LCO seems to have what feels like a bit more of a budget to the PCS as well.
Yeah, well, ECL is its own beast.
Yeah.
And like what Ash was saying, Riot basically came to ESL and said, all right, this is what we're doing. Figure out your time slots and everything. That's why we have this huge what feels like 6 month break, but it's actually 3 months. 3 months break between people playing video games, which is not healthy for any competitive league. Then you have the random, our grand finals might not be played because our teams could maybe win.
Yeah.
If they do, then we're just not going to host it thing.
Yeah.
So it was pretty weird, pretty rushed. That's why maybe Riot fucked over Peace as well, because they didn't even know what was going on timeline wise. So they were rushed into it, didn't have their passports.
Yeah, we didn't actually think about that. Like, that is 100% viable, but I feel like as a team, though, knowing the split, even in general, is coming up soon, this is the team. Like, teams were announced fairly early. That's the second the team's announced, hey, you got your passport, buddy? You ready to go? Like,
yeah, it really felt like they weren't ready for the split to start.
Yeah.
Because took them an extra 4 weeks to get everyone sorted, which is just pretty piss poor. I don't know if they're coming back in split too. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't. It doesn't feel like it's going to be good.
I kind of hope they do, especially if we got giga clapped by the PCS teams. I feel like because they're from that region and they're players from PCS and stuff, if they come in, it might get us some more experience against someone who would be a better team. I think they may even take first, honestly.
Do you know if the split's going to go longer?
I have no idea. I think hopefully it will. We won't see like 1 or 2. I think I just want more round robins, honestly.
Yeah.
Stay away from the final push bracket of like the winners losers bracket. Do some more round robins, because I got sick. You see the same teams versus each other like 1,000 times. It's getting annoying.
We needed to have like there needs to be an extra like maybe 2 months of round robins. And I know that sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot, but imagine the wealth of gameplay you get out of that in a stage sense.
Yeah, that just means everyone versus them another 2 times. That's all that extra 2 months is, because you pretty much just cycle through it every like month. Everyone versus each other once in a month.
Well, here's a hypothetical for you. Okay, let's just say in the next year, super hypothetical, next year, every team gets awesome funding. They're like, we're going to fund the shit out of you guys. We want to see O's really step up. And we go, fuck yeah, sounds great. They give us an actual tournament location. Let's say Fortress in Melbourne. They're like, you guys are welcome to come, and we'll do the casting. We'll do the full thing. We'll book it out each week. We'll do it at Fortress. You have to have stage presence. You're always playing the same spot. Film crew, all that sort of shit, right? Do you think that would help?
Oh shit, yeah, for sure. Because then you can the energy would inspire the players to do better. Seeing you in person, it would just, I feel it could just be a better vibe.
So it's like, is it worth maybe reaching out to those organizations and saying, hey, look, we understand you guys. Again, I'll use Fortress as the example because we've been there. We know the sort of environment it gives, right? We say to them, hey, we want to do every maybe second week, we want to book out this location. Let's fill it with fucking people and get them watching the fucking LCO. Even if it's just the players and the casters are still in the office, right? They're still in Sydney. They're just screening from somewhere else. Like, how good would that be if you could do that?
Honestly, it would be pretty sick, but I don't see a world where that will ever happen. Not in because you would have to relocate all the teams.
That's what I'm saying. It was like, hypothetically, we all have good money. We all have good money.
Yeah, look, I feel like that would be perfect.
Or even if it was most of the teams, if you're from, let's say, Perth, so PGG, they're like, hey, we know you've actually just see PGG's awesome new digs. They've got like a full gaming studio thing now. It's fucking lit. But we'll diverge back to that later.
PGG have money, though.
They do have money. But like, imagine if you had 60% of the team. So you had 6 teams, maybe, or maybe 4 or 5 teams in Melbourne. So you're not going to get the other teams that can't travel every second fucking week, right? So instead, they'll just be like, oh, maybe we'll try and come for a couple of the weeks. And we'll fly the teams down for like the week and practice and do that shit on stage. Like, imagine if you were able to do that, and try and build a bit more of a hub around it. I feel like because OS is such a big region, like you think about Taiwan, small as all hell compared to Australia. Like, we are a big space. Imagine if we had one central place that is like, this is where LCO sort of happens. I feel like more people would be excited because they're like, oh, if I go here on this night, I get to watch pro players and like interact and build.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like a hub of anything is good. It's like people go to Melbourne because like it's a great comedy spot. Like you can have all these comedy pubs and open mics and stuff, and it turns out to be its own little like infrastructure. All the comedians from Australia come from pretty much Melbourne or go to Melbourne.
Yeah.
So it'll be all the aspiring content creators in America move over to that one little city that's apparently really cancerous, California. It's like if all our League of Legends players just like go to Melbourne, go to Sydney, go to Perth, wherever they go, honestly, if they grouped up in one spot, the amount of hype and influx of retention of audience members and stuff as well, because being in that environment, in that space, it creates a sense of like community where you would keep coming back. It's like when regulars go to the pub.
Yeah, exactly. It's regulars going to the pub. We need regulars watching the LCO.
Yeah. Look, nick down a fortress, get on the piss, watch some LCO.
Bro.
Like, hey.
Oh, I would
get
fucking
a schnitty.
do that. I'd do that every week. I'd be like,
Get a
they'd
schnitty.
be like, where you going to? I'm like, I'm going to the pub. Is why? Watching the LCO. They're like, what the fuck? Is he already drunk?
That's what we're missing out on. And I do agree, which I guess is the overarching topic of this podcast, is I feel domestically we need to grow way more.
Yeah.
And focusing on our domestic entertainment value and growing the brand of LCO domestically should be big. But if teams keep looking out of the teams look out, the fucking everyone else needs to focus on here, because if we keep half the people watch other games instead.
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck. They're like, whatever, we're not going to win. They're not interesting games.
I think the best example I could almost give as well is, and I don't want to shout this person out, but it's not so much a shout, I'm just sort of calling them out. Like Aladoric being like, he got called out being like, oh, he was watching Valorant tournaments before he went live on the LCO to play. Like, he was watching a whole nother game. Like, that there, does that show a committed player?
No, but it's the same as it. They're only human at the end of the day.
Again, that's why I didn't want to call them out.
They just want to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's especially someone like Aladoric, who is known to be like the best support player OC has, like crazy on Rakan, Engage Man 37. He should be just focused on the game that he's about to play. He shouldn't be really playing it. But it was actually passed in NA that they couldn't do that anymore because it was double lift. Downloaded World of Warcraft on the LCS, like the LCS things, and he was playing WoW raiding before he needed to go on stage. So it's like, all these people do it. You just need to keep what you're doing, because especially your lifespan as a pro in Australia is way lower than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Seize the opportunity with both hands and go ham with it.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to be there for 2 to 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
And that's it.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I want to quickly talk about MSI that's coming up. Are you excited for it?
Not at all. I'm not really following any teams at the moment, internationally. I've been watching probably the most LCO I've ever watched this year because of the podcast, because of I just watch it on stream as well sometimes. I should probably do more, and we should probably do more casting as well over certain games. If we're not at DreamHack, we should Yoinkies the final.
Ooh, yeah.
I may go, so I'm not sure how that'll work.
We should just get down there and cast it for them.
just sit on the
steal
sidelines.
The mics. Steal their mics.
Just
be like, fuck off.
Use our phones, just start streaming on Twitch, casting in the corner.
We'll get one of those little, like, tiny little lapel mics that you just hold up to your mouth. You're like, oh yeah, and just whispering in the very corner. It's like, oh yeah, Rusty made a pretty good call just then about Alador going into that one, but I think he could have done better, little shithead.
I really think that we can get some more like exposure with the LCO broadcast team if we just like Yoinkies them to like the podcast.
Yeah.
Just get him on, chat to him for a little bit, because it would be interesting to talk to them.
We
I
should
could
get
probably
Tim.
get Tim, Carbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should.
I know
I'll hit him up.
Maximize is my baby child. Like, he would be able to come on easy. But I would much rather talk to someone who's been there for a longer time. I think Rusty would be very interesting to talk to on what he thinks.
Cool.
Because he's such a jaded old man, it seems, that he would be very negative about some things. And especially, he posted on Twitter about the PCS thing, too.
That's what I was actually referring to. He was actually the main instigator of that whole situation.
He deleted that tweet, by the way. He got so much backlash.
He did. Fair enough.
So,
like, what he said was truthful, but not what you actually say on a public platform.
True, but all he's doing is he wants wants it. It's the mindset. He doesn't. I don't think he wants it. He just wants OCE to like do well.
Yeah.
And because he's like almost the granddaddy at this point of like LCO broadcasting, or I mean, the OCE broadcasting for League of Legends, because he's been here for ages,
since like, almost OG times, really.
Yeah. So it's like you can see that he wanted something better from the broadcast. Because if we put out shit or like slop, then it won't be picked up very well.
How does that reflect on us?
Exactly. And especially him himself, because this is meant to see as the level up from LCO.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a leveled up broadcast. I didn't see this is the finals. This is like our run to get to Worlds MSI. Yeah.
Yep. No, that's exactly what I was referring to. Funnily enough, before. Yeah, is that sort of... I'm living on Twitter now, man. Twitter's actually the place.
Dude, it's good, huh?
I'm surprised I didn't get Twitter before. I've spent so long being like, no, I don't need Twitter. And now that I'm on it, I'm just like... I open up my phone in the morning. Twitter? Ooh.
Yeah, mate.
Should I tweet it?
Yeah, mate. Twitter's where it's at. It's just full of like drama, and it's just full of everyone yelling at each other. You can get some good shit to talk about. It's good stuff.
I'm gonna start tagging you in cute little selfies of myself like naked in bed.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll just tag you in it directly, like with zero context, zero warning. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, it was funny. I don't know if we did this or we said this on actual thing. It was when we were doing the Why Not Dance special. Audio listeners, we were gonna all get up and dance around, and then probably like, oh god, I can't do it. I can't stand up. I haven't got my pants on.
That nothing is certain in the LCO. Both series having opposite outcomes to how they ended on Monday.
I haven't changed it.
The finals, Bliss come out swinging. If there's one thing we can take from tonight, is that nothing is certain.
I'm pretty sure No, did you see the enemy team started dancing?
Oh,
it was kind of rough. Like they lost the series, and the other guys, they started dancing, and you're just like, oh, come on.
You can't help but laugh at that.
It was. I won't.
You can't help but laugh at that. That's good.
I'm not gonna not laugh at it.
Liv started staring down the camera as well. I saw that gif on Twitter.
That needed to be a shirt. I'm pretty sure Cutie wanted to turn that into a shirt. Be like, I'll buy that shirt. But it had to be.
That's a good meme.
It had to be Liv's face on the front, staring at you, and then it had to be a photo of the back of his head on your back.
Mate, just the defeat screen on the back. Just put the Bliss defeat screen, or like, you know how they put the graphic up like after a team loses and it shows the score, just 3-0. Just put that on the back.
Yeah, damn. Brutal. But yes.
But yeah, look, overall, I'm PSG Talon versus Flying Oyster tonight at 7. I was just looking that up because I wanted to see how the PCS are going. They're not done yet, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure PSG Talon will be our Oceanic representative, so maybe I watch them in MSI. Like, I don't know, man.
I'm pretty keen. I think C9 actually got through to MSI, which is pretty big.
That is pretty big.
For them, like, they haven't been to a Worlds event in so long. I think since Sneaky. And that was good form Sneaky back in the day. That was that was maybe 4-5+ years ago. When they last went. So they've been really trying hard, and it's nice to see the teams come back after such a big streak of not having a good time.
True, and a light just went off in my head. For those audio listeners that did listen to the podcast last week, episode 11 with Ash, he did say that TSM's team's coming down, right?
Yeah, that
TSM the org are booming, right?
Yeah.
Ash said mayhaps a lot of the TSM sub team is going to stay in OCE. Maybe.
Imagine if TSM actually took Piece's spot. Imagine that.
No shot. That would be fucking crazy.
Dude, okay, if they're leaving League, right? If they're leaving League, what better league to leave in?
Mate, they'll pull first. If they're worried that they can't win because like the LCS talent is too good now, they just come to OC, wreck us. Look, I would get behind OC
I'd
TSM.
get behind that. Like, I'd be cool with that. Like, just imagine these teams that they're like, think of it like the less winning teams from all over. They're sort of like, oh, we're not doing too good. Let's just go buy a spot in OS, send over some like academy players, watch them just shit in everyone's mouth, and then just see them at MSI every time.
Nothing will drive the prices up and the viewership up faster than that. We should just start reaching out.
Mate.
Fnatic. Look,
Fnatic.
What are you doing?
Mate, you give us Reckless, we'll give you Raze. Good trait.
And also the speculation that C9 Fudge could be wanting to come home to Australia again, and then he may get on a team, which is going to be big.
That's huge.
Ash said Kanga. I say bullshit. I don't know if he will even come back, or even if the TSM people will come on. But it's an interesting thing he said. Even if he's just debating me, it's something that I would like to see.
I would watch that. Again, this is what we were saying. Like, Peace brought in a whole new level of viewership.
Yeah.
Why can't we keep doing that? I know it's kind of sort of snaking it from other regions, but
you're right though.
It's the way to do it.
You're right though.
Bring in bigger name teams that want to expand a little bit, because right now, where else do you see like Chiefs? Where else do you see Bliss? It's only OS. If we start getting some more worldly based teams, and the orgs start to venture out into other regions, not only is that going to be better for their fucking brand, because you're reaching a whole new demographic, but you're going to be getting more exposure, all sorts of shit. So it's like, why don't teams do that? Why aren't we seeing a Chiefs team in the PCS full time? Right?
Mate,
like,
you're just everything you're saying is just facts. I would like to see do you think that if LCO, God forbid, booms, do you think any team will go like overseas to PCS? I think PGG will 100%.
PGG 100% will. Or they'd set up a second team, and they would just scrim each other permanently, and they'd have free scrim partners for life. Or see, it's hard. Like, I want to say that the Brisbane boys might, because they're probably a little bit closer, but our internet's not good here. We're still running on oil, man. I'm pretty sure for our electricity we're using electric eels.
Dude, hell yeah. Got those hamsters on wheels going.
We actually have a factory.
Hell yeah.
So maybe, like, I just don't want to see the PCS take over LCO.
I feel like that is the progression of things, though. Because it starts with Peace. I don't want to think that Peace were already always a part of the league, and the players were always a part of the league anyway. I feel like the only thing more PCS teams will do, or more PCS players will do, is make the scene way more competitive.
Yeah, true.
Because I really do want to see more games of Peace versus Chiefs, Peace versus PGG, and now Bliss. I really want to see that.
Do you think it's worth? I know because they've got different like servers. Like Taiwan has their own server, right? Is it worth the servers like semi-combining?
Well, we had that for a while, I think. Like, it's Asia, Oceania is in other games and not in League. But, oh man, where would you put it? Where would you put the server? You would just have people with good ping and people with bad ping. I don't think League has a way of like negating that.
Honestly, chuck it in like Cape York, right at the point of Australia. Chuck it right there. You're going to get good hubs underneath the water. That's going to go straight to Taiwan. They're going to be laughing. And then, I don't know, we'll just set up, like they were setting up that mining train or some bullshit from the top to the south, right? All through Queensland. All the farmers fucking hated it. Mate, esports is bigger than farming. I'll say it right now.
Agriculture, what is that?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Trying to breed cows? Bro, I'm trying to breed players. You fucking give me that piece of internet.
We ain't gonna find Faker 2 with farms and cows, idiot.
Mate, 2 cows fucking ain't gonna make a Faker. Like,
2 cows fucking is scary, though.
You don't know what sort of noises those motherfuckers are gonna make. That's also the title of the podcast now. 2 cows fucking... 2 cows fucking ain't making Faker.
No, they aren't.
But no, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think, yeah, it would be nice. I don't.
If we could all go
underneath.
if we could all go underneath one server, yeah. But I think they would move towards doing some sort of super server thing where it's like, you know how in maybe even Asia countries they have their pros only play in whatever.
Yeah.
If we had a challenger queue for all of Asia under a separate server, even if it was third party, I think that would be chill. That would maybe make all our pro players better.
Imagine if it was like a super server that was like anything above Diamond 1.
Yeah.
And above goes to a super server where it's you're versing players from other regions really close by. And you just go nuts. That would actually be really cool. Because then how fast would you see our decline of all of our pro players sitting in Diamond? We wouldn't have a challengers just rank. They'd all be fucking in Diamond 1. Every time they get in, they get pushed right back out.
That's why the hardest elo in OCE, I don't care what anyone says, is Diamond 2.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Players are born, bred, and died in Diamond 2. That's the hard stock era.
Yeah.
If you're a pro player and you hit D2 and you can't move up, unlucky. You're going to be there for years.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Not in the super server. You're just straight back to gold, idiot. My Smurf account's it's gold promos. I lost one. That's why I was bringing it up.
Oh,
dude,
true.
That's scary. I can't do promos. I hate them.
I'm about to start ranking up on my other account too. I'm going to try and play more ranked.
Why don't you just play on your main account? You need to get gold.
I want to do both.
True. I play on the Smurf account because I'm hard stuck on my main account. I can't move.
My main's
that account's doomed.
I'll keep going. I might play a ranked game or two tonight. See how we go. I'm not stressed.
Yeah, better do it on stream. I'll watch.
I'm not streaming tonight. I'm going to stream tomorrow during the day.
Huh. Yeah. I'm not streaming tonight either. I start working 4 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, I do overnights on Thursdays sometimes.
That's gross.
Yeah, 10 to 6 is not too bad. I just kind of like, I'll probably just watch the PCS and hang out.
Oh, that does sound
get some drinks, chill. Well, not drinks, like alcoholic drinks.
He's
can't drink away.
Drunk. Yes,
I'm on the pitch.
I knew it.
Nah, I just have loads of energy drinks to just like hang out. I have uni work as well, which is shit. Because I need... Uni, you probably know this from when you're at uni. For some reason, they like to make things due in the middle of the holidays.
Yeah.
Or like at the end of the holidays, so you could work on them after the holidays. And when you're finished, I'm in fucking Japan.
Mate,
I can't work on this shit. So there's like 3 things due. So I need to get them done by Sunday.
Can you get me a present from Japan?
What would you like, man?
Can I have a
to surprise you?
statue?
No, you can't have a One Piece statue from Japan.
Dude, they're cheaper in Japan.
I know, but that's something that you should get for yourself when you eventually go. I can get you something else.
I'm gonna fucking go nuts in Japan. I'm gonna send back.
I'll get you a Nami one with huge badonkers.
I'm okay with that. Look at this one. Look at this one. To all you podcast audio listeners, I'm so sorry. I'm holding up a literally. It's 1 out of 100. You can only buy it in this one store in Japan, and a friend went to Japan from work and bought it for me. So this is 1 out of 100, and you can only get it in this one store in Japan. It is the coolest thing ever. So, audio listeners, I'm so sorry. It's Luffy punching, and it is dope, and I love it.
And it is dope, and I love it.
It is my love child. It's so fucking rare.
I've been seeing things about One Piece all over my Twitter timeline now that we're talking about that.
It's getting pretty nutty, man. We might need to wrap up the episode, though, as we're getting to an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I could just chat shit forever, apparently.
It's just what we do. It's just what
Hell
we do.
yeah.
It's just what we do.
You had a statistic that you wanted to hit me with.
Yes. Okay, this is the fun fact statistic. Okay, did you know that I think it's 40 or 50% of podcasts don't make it past the 3rd episode?
40 or 50% of them?
Yes. So people start these podcasts and then they just can't continue on with them. They don't know what to do or fill it with content or anything like that. And then the other statistic, 90% of podcasts, or maybe it's like 95% of podcasts, don't make it past the 21st episode. So 95% of podcasts don't make it up to 21 episodes. They just get there and then they just quit.
Ah, shit, that's half a year.
Dude, that's right. If you think about it. Right? So if we get to 21 episodes, 22nd episode, I think we throw a party.
Yeah, pizza party.
We'll both order a pizza.
Hell yeah.
And just do a pizza party.
Get the audio listeners into it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you got your pizzas. All right, sweet ass. What did we get?
Oh, maybe we could do it live.
Oh, shit, the first... that would be interesting. Yeah, we'll do a live one. YouTube. Yeah,
I
sure.
can set that up. That shouldn't be too hard. That'd be fun as fuck. And we could talk to our viewers. Oi, chat. Well, there's no chat here. I'm so used to streaming on Twitch. That would actually be sick.
Wait, YouTube chat.
Oi,
Hello.
come fucking here. But yeah. Well, okay, that's probably the end of it. I think
All right.
that was a fun time. That's pretty good. I could keep talking, but I also want to go play games. Because
You work today?
yeah, I was at work all day today.
Cringe.
And I'm pretty
Lucky.
no, mine it was not lucky. It was not good.
Unlucky.
Still, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anyone out there looking to hire someone for anything, excuse me. That was not the best. I'm not selling myself here, Mike.
Oh, everyone that got to the end, congratulations! You get a Papa Pike burp for free. Oh. Well, everyone, thank you for watching episode 12 of the Two Summoners podcast. It's been a pretty good one, a little bit of a gander. For those who are watching or listening on YouTube, don't forget, we can go over to Spotify.
Yes.
And we have something there. The links, I'm pretty sure 99% of the time, down in the description
They
down
are
below.
now. They are now.
Yep, suss them out. Suss out our socials from Papa Pike and myself. And we will leave you with this random question that I'm going to throw to Papa Pike to curate.
If you had to fight 6 ducks, but these ducks drank blood.
Oh wow.
Or would you
Blood drinking ducks?
would you fight one bear, but this bear is like pretty calm until you start hitting it? You have to fight it though. You have to fight it though.
Well, I have prep time for the bear. You could do anything.
No, I'm saying right now, like you literally you think of one.
Oh,
bang,
bear's
it's
at my
in
door.
your room. It is walking through your door. These ducks are flocking in through the window.
The bear seems kind of chill, but
the bear's
he
mega
seems chill.
But you
We
have to
finish the
kill this
podcast.
bear. You have to kill this bear, right? You have to kill it. You have to kill these animals. They're going to kill you. But this bear's going to keep following you around. The second you touch it, it's going to go nuts. The second you touch it, if you may.
Bears are fucking scary, man.
They are scary.
I have to go the ducks. Even if they drink blood, I have to go the ducks.
These are very aggressive ducks.
I don't think it matters how aggressive the ducks are.
They drink blood. They fucking out for blood.
Oh man.
Just
They're
imagine,
out for
imagine
blood.
one duck's just going right for your face. Another one's going right for your groin. No, that's my question.
Man, that's terrifying.
Ducks or
6 ducks. That's a lot of multitasking. I would still go the ducks. Ducks for sure.
What are these ducks doing to you? It's just multitasking.
Yeah, there's many duck.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like,
So you need to fight one, like push one off, like karate chop the other.
mate,
It's a lot of
these
multitasking.
ducks are fucking everywhere. Every time they bite you, they've got teeth. Every time they bite you, they're taking chunks out of you.
Ducks don't have teeth.
I said they're bloodthirsty ducks. How are ducks meant to fucking nuzzle blood, like fucking blood out of you? They don't.
Oh,
These
with a
ducks have
straw.
teeth. With a straw? What sort of ducks are you talking about? This is my hypothetical question.
Anyway, we'll leave it to you, audio listeners. What would you go, Pike?
Oh, I think I could live with a bear hanging around me my whole life.
Wait, can you cuddle the bear?
No,
And
you
that's
touch
chill.
it. You touch it, it fucks you up.
Well, I think I say ducks. Think about your answers. If you're an audio listener, just clap 3 times, say it out
I
loud, feel
want to
involved.
figure out how we can get the audio listeners involved more. Is there? Can they
Star
comment on
jumps.
shit? No, can they
No,
comment on
audio
stuff?
listener. I think they may be able to comment on Spotify, but I feel like that's just something I've never done, and I don't think anyone will ever do.
Look, they might. Well, guys, if you'd like to see anyone in particular on the next episode as well, let us know. Reach out, hashtag them in the post. Corvy, you need to start posting more on the Two Summoners Twitter, man.
Yep, true.
That's your job.
True.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, until next time, guys. Thank you for watching. I've been
See you
Papa
guys.
Pike, and he's been
Corvy. Well, I hate this.